I think almost any anime fan who keeps up with seasonals could agree that the winter 2021 seasonal anime were some of the best in recent times. Returning shows such as ReZero, Attack on Titan, Quintuplets, and more really delivered great sequels, and a handful of new fresh series such as Mushoku Tensei and Wonder Egg Priority made their mark and solidified themselves as anime with a very bright future to look out for. But that's done and dusted. We're here today to talk about the new seasonal anime from the spring 2021 season, or more specifically the 3 best anime this season, which I believe are very special and can even surpass the previous season's anime. But enough said, allow me to discuss why exactly I believe Tokyo Revengers, To Your Eternity, and After Being Rejected I Shaved and Took in a High School Runaway are the best seasonal anime out of all the spring 2021 series that are airing as of this moment. Well, let's start off all the way from the beginning. It was a normal Monday afternoon, my family had gone out and I had decided to stay behind. I didn't have much to do. I wasn't in the mood to read either a Vagabond or Classroom of the Elites, as well as not wanting to pick up from where I left off with the Monogatari second season. It then hit me that I had been behind with almost all of the seasonal anime I had planned to watch. Therefore, this was the perfect opportunity to catch up to most of them. The first anime I saw was To Your Eternity. Why, you ask? The key visual was very eye-catching and quickly caught my attention. I had no idea what to expect from the series, nonetheless I went into it with an open mind, and the first episode was actually top tier. From the start, I was amazed and intrigued by the production. The voice acting as well as the camera movement were all on point. The show starts off by giving you, along with explaining a little bit of a unique idea, then follows up by showing it to the audience and leaving it up to interpretation. The show gives good insight to the harsh reality of the world the characters live in. The dialogue is actually pretty decent. The voice actors did a great job at portraying the character's emotions and his monologue. I've probably never cried, let alone tear up ever since I've watched anime, yet this show almost had my eyes watery, and it was only the first episode. If I had to describe To Your Eternity, I'd probably label it as an adventurous coming-of-age story with dark elements to it. The first episode ended quite shockingly and very different from what I expected. I am very excited for what's next in store for the series, and I predict that it might end up being a really good series with an amazing character journey to boot. I haven't seen the second episode yet. At the time it was going to air in about 20 minutes, but I honestly did not feel like waiting, so I decided that in the meantime I'd catch up on another series that I had fallen behind with. After Being Rejected, I Shaved and Took in a High School Runaway. That title is actually more than enough to keep people from checking out the show. If you had no background with the series whatsoever and hadn't had anyone to give you feedback on it, chances are that you'd probably never give it a try. The title makes it seem less than it is. It makes it seem like another trash anime rom-com that's just the same thing over and over again. How would I know? That was what I thought 5 seconds into it, and at first the only reason I gave it a chance was because Sayu was looking kinda cute from the photos I saw. Was I wrong about the series being a trashy rom-com? Yes, I was completely wrong, and I am very glad I gave this show a chance. The protagonist, Yoshida, is a simple decent man with genuine morals. Does he sound boring? Yes. Is he a bad main character? Nope, not at all in the slightest. Now, without spoiling, it will be hard to explain exactly why this show is so special and why I took a deep interest to it. So, if you still aren't interested even after my explanation, all I have to say is give it a chance. No, really, trust me, it is definitely worth your time. The series tackles themes that are very relevant to the era that we live in and remind you to appreciate the things you have in addition to helping out those in need. Still not interested? If you're thinking that you already have decent morals and that there's no gain in watching it, then simply watch it. It tackles an almost identical theme in a beautiful way which could resonate with all kinds of people. I learned something very important from just the first 3 episodes of this show. Especially if you are a young teenage boy like I am, you need to see this as it could teach you something very important in life that might be able to help many people around you. The show's representation of unconditional kindness is something to be held up in high regard, as even though it is something that should be common, we tend to almost forget about it completely because of the mindset of only doing something for the benefits. Sure, the first episode might throw you off a little, but by episode 3, you'll love it and empathize with Sayu's feelings. Just give it a watch, it's a very heartwarming story that might teach you a great thing or two about life. The protagonist is simple, but I'm fine with that because he's a decent human being with morals, someone everyone should strive to be like. Sayu is a really good character, and the situation as well as everything that has happened to her feel very real because they're things that happen every single day. She's very likable with a good amount of depth to her character as well. The show is definitely a must-watch for everyone. The themes represented are realistic and portrayed in a beautiful way, in addition to the series teaching very valuable lessons that can be applied in real life. It's very wholesome with a good enough story and extremely likable characters. Please do yourself a favor and watch it. After being rejected, I shaved and took in a high school Runaway. I was deeply moved and felt empty with there being no more episodes to watch. So, what did I do? I moved on to the next seasonal, one that I had read the manga for, which was very good in its own right, but I wasn't really excited for the anime because of the very infamous studio that was adapting it. It is now safe to say that Tokyo Revengers will be the best anime of this season. The adaptation was quite literally a page-by-page one, and I enjoyed all of the OSTs that were playing. The story is of very high quality, one that really took my interest for two reasons. 1. I love time travel stories. I had a great time watching both Erased and ReZero, which have a similar premise to Tokyo Revengers. 2. It's an anime about delinquents. Have you ever seen an anime about delinquents? Sure, Mob Psycho had one arc about them, but Tokyo Revengers is completely and totally about delinquents, something that hasn't been done before. Who wouldn't want to see middle schoolers starting their own gangs and beating each other up? I know I'd love to see that. No BS power-ups, just straight hands, man. Aside from that, I really enjoyed the parts of the manga that I read from Tokyo Revengers. The cast of characters are top tier and the storytelling was really good with some unpredictable plot twists. I haven't caught up to the manga, so I'm really excited to see more of Takemichi's growth and what the rest of the show has to offer. The opening theme really also caught my eye and my ears because it's a freaking banger. Listen to it. I do see Tokyo Revengers being the best anime this season. At first, I had my bets on Shaman King, but the start is very slow and the production isn't the best. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the anime this season can produce. I may be entirely wrong and these series could fail horribly, but I have high hopes for them and I am more than certain that my hopes won't be betrayed. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the 3 shows which I believe are very special, with each of them having potential to be the best this season. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I highly suggest you consider subscribing, as it is something that does really help support me and keep me motivated, ensuring that I'll make many more videos just like this. You have my thanks for watching up until the end. The link to my Twitter is in the description if you ever want to talk to me. I'll make sure to catch all of you guys in the next video. Peace.